I heard reach out that would love to make
Greetings, Gunslinger Posse, and welcome to Branded for October 23rd, 2024. And joining me in studio now is the head coach and general manager of the San Antonio Gunslingers, Tom Menas. I'm Ralph Judkins, your host. Branded, brought to you by South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital, a show all about the San Antonio Gunslingers, the IFL. Go ahead and if you take the time to like and subscribe to YouTube and follow us on Twitter and Facebook, and sound off with a comment or a question for Coach. Coach, before we get started, any big questions?
No
any comments?
No.
Okay.
Glad to be here. Looking forward to the show.
All right. Well, we'll be right back and get us underway with the first quarter and kicking it off in just a moment. You're watching Branded, the home edition again. We'll be back in a bit.
It's the high school football season, the most exciting time of the year.
That's right, Greg, and John Wayne Service Company is in on the action with Texas Sports Productions.
Watch and listen to the hundreds of games this season on the all-new TSP app, and vote for the John Wayne Player of the Game during the games and the John Wayne Player of the Week beginning on Sundays during the season.
Go to johnwayne.com to vote and be automatically entered to win a $10,000 home makeover.
Get in the game today with TSP
and John Wayne Service Company.
All right, team, huddle up. Just like in surgery, we need precision and teamwork. Trust me, just like on the field, if we stick to the playbook, we'll achieve excellence.
Coach, are you sure about this?
We've trained for this. We're experts. The San Antonio Gunslingers and South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital and Outpatient Center, where precision meets performance.
Dependability. It's expected by our customers, and it's demanded by me. I personally guarantee the certified techs we send to your home and the equipment we install are dependable. John Wayne's American Pride comfort systems are designed specifically for San Antonio's extreme heat and humidity and come with a lifetime warranty. For comfort you can depend on, call John Wayne today.
John Wayne Service Company is a proud sponsor of the San Antonio Gunslingers.
It's literally like hockey and football had a baby.
Type of action you'll never see in the NFL.
Let's go, Gunslingers! Let's go, baby! Woo! That's the best entertainment there is. Once you've been to a game, you're going to get hooked.
And welcome back to Branded with head coach Tom Menas. Ralph Judkins here as we get set to start the first quarter. And because we're doing the home edition, that means Tom is back home in Michigan. And if you haven't followed Tom Menas on Facebook, you really need to, because you can actually consider this show prep for Branded. We were talking about briefly the seasons, and he was showing all the lovely change in foliage up in Michigan. And my quip was, yes, I miss real seasons. Well, at least 3 of them. So you're in hunting season now. What's going on? What do you got to do on the property for hunting season?
Oh man, there's all that's done usually in September, late August, early September. Bow season opened up here on the 1st, but we had 80-degree weather. So the deer were snoozing all day and up in the middle of the night. I had my trail cam set. I pulled some cameras Sunday, and there's a nice buck on there. There's a nice big buck on there that keeps coming in. There's a mama with a couple does, and then there's a couple big fat does that keep coming in singles. Pair of twin 6-pointers that come in pretty regular along the trail there. They're bedding areas in the back of my property. So yeah, that's been it. And then the other thing is just trying to stay unburied from a million leaves falling every day. We have giant oak and maples that go up 70 to 100 and some odd feet all over the property. We probably got literally 1,000 of those trees around, if not more. And so this time of year, the maples fall first, and those are the pretty gold ones. You see all the pictures I send, and then the oak and the elms, and they all fall a little bit later. Just when you think you've caught up. I spent almost 5 hours on the tractor Sunday, woke up Monday morning, it looks like I didn't do anything, one of those deals. But it's part of it. It's part of, the weather's getting colder. Today we had a high of 65. We'll have a low night in the low 30s. Tomorrow's supposed to be a premium hunting day. I've got work to do in the office pretty much all morning, so I'm looking forward to going out tomorrow evening for a couple hours, getting a sit, and just trying to keep the driveway clear from acorns and leaves, which is a task because our driveway is about 100 yards long. So it gets tricky.
Yeah, anything's better than a foot and a half of the white stuff with some frozen.
It's
stuff
coming. I put a blade on my ATVs, and it's make it into something that I don't mind doing. I don't dread it. I got my winch in front, runs my blade. I can go down my driveway, hit it, get all the property dice. I try to do a couple of neighbors down the road if they need it. They're a little older. So yeah, it's coming, and that's all you can do is just take it, grin and bear it. I'm just glad I'm here, so Miss Susan's not trying to deal with all this.
And speaking of Miss Susan, we're going to bring her on here in just a moment after a quick break.
She's not a big camera person, like where she likes getting out and doing interviews and all that. And I was teasing her. I said, because she's my biggest fan, and I don't want to say biggest critic, but she points out to me a lot of things that I need to work on. I use Bill.
Critic.
Yeah, there's a comedian. He says it great because I love her and I respect her a ton, but she's perfect. And I'm like that building that you see that has scaffolding all around it that's always under construction. That's me. Yeah. So I'm always getting fixed because of what so I figured, I said, well, you know what? Everyone thinks this is really easy thing to do. Ralph and I put in a lot of effort into this show, and I said, come on the show for a half a quarter and just tell everybody, let them get to know you. They always hear Miss Susan. Let them get to know you a little bit. So she's excited about that. And then we have a couple players coming on tonight, which I'm really excited about. We've got our newest linebacker, and we have our newest quarterback, or one of our newest quarterbacks on. So great chance for fans to reach out and, say hi to them, make them feel welcome. We're going to talk a little bit about some changes going on, the schedule, things that are going on around indoor football in general. Sam signed today with Albany.
Big announcement there.
Couldn't be happier for him. I messaged him right away. He's a couple hours away from home and those babies. And that's what he really wanted.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, it's a big deal. You can't say you're God family football and then get mad over somebody who's living what you preach.
Moving closer to the family.
Yeah. So we're excited for him. and I told him, just stay healthy and God bless you. And I hope you have a great season. What else can you say? And he returned a compliment to us, and, that's how it should be. That's how it should be. Be happy for each other, when good things happen. So, yeah. There we
So
go.
do we hit that break and come back to Miss Susan then?
Yeah, we'll do it. Good luck,
Okay.
everybody.
We'll
We're
be
gonna,
back in just a moment, and we'll see what happens then.
yeah, it should
Be
be fun. All right, bye.
All right, team, huddle up. Just like in surgery, we need precision and teamwork. Trust me, just like on the field, if we stick to the playbook, we'll achieve excellence.
Coach, are you sure about this?
We've trained for this. We're experts. The San Antonio Gunslingers and South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital and Outpatient Center, where precision meets performance.
Be nice. Come on. You came on somewhere. I'm thinking you all this, right? I am. No.
And welcome back to Branded as I recue myself here, and we get Susan on camera. Welcome Susan Manas to Branded, the power behind the throne, and the only one who can criticize Tom and keep their job within the organization.
Happy to be here.
Happy to be here and tell you everything you're doing wrong. So,
Right. Well, that is the whole purpose of the show. Eventually, that's what it will evolve into, is tune into Branded and find out what's wrong with how you're running your team, how you're playing your game. Because that's what this will eventually turn into.
I'm sure there's a bunch of people that could tell me how to do that, right? No, no, but like I said, I wanted Susan to come on. She's, this goes for all the coaches' wives out there, assistant coaches, head coaches. We leave our families for an extended period of time. Last year, I was home like 28 days out of the entire year. This year, we built the infrastructure, so it made more sense to come back. I go back and forth every couple of weeks, and that way I can be with my family too. And she's not doing everything that she has to do all the time while I'm gone in the summers, which we have a big chunk of land. And I think as soon as I pull in the driveway from coming home, she hands me the keys of the tractor and says, "It's on you now."
Yeah, the first month is okay because I don't mind it, right? Riding the zero turn is kind of fun. But when it gets to 2 and 3 months, yeah, I'm about done. He's ready for his job back.
Yeah.
Well,
Our neighbors have been nice enough to help a couple of times in between my travels. One time I came home and I was only home for like a day and a half, and I called him and it's like, "Can you help mow the lawn?" And within the hour, he was out there already mowing before I left for my next trip. So
Yeah,
we have great neighbors. We're very blessed to have our.
that's
neighbors
living
we
in the
have.
country.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to get, and we do the same for anybody that needs us. And I can't tell you, our neighbor Joe, who lives the closest to us, he's a mechanical genius. I mean, this guy he rebuilds tractors, antique tractors from the ground up, cars. Doesn't matter. He's a longtime GM employee and he knows everything. And I'll go over to him and I go, "How do I do this?" And I go, "Bring it in the barn," and we'll pull it in the barn and get on the ground and we'll work on it. And he's always showing me, teaching me how to do things, which I want to know, but he is just so good. And that's the kind of people we have out here. So we're really blessed with that.
And his wife's pretty special too.
Oh yeah.
She'll hand me the drink and we'll sit and chit chat about them while they work on whatever they're working on. So that's always nice.
Well, I wanted our audience to know, Susan, what you do. Clearly, you said travel. You're traveling for a purpose, or tell us about what you do when Tom is not around, because you have a yeah. Well, no, it's more than that. More than that.
Hello. Every time he comes home, he doesn't recognize the house.
It's funny because and not to interrupt you, but okay, so there was a period of about 5 years where I would be on, doing my thing, and she'd call me up and say, "Hey, I really want to change the family room around." And I'd say, "Okay, I understand. when you're home and you want to, and she watches these home shows like religiously, right? So I'll come home and there'll be a brand new family room. And then the next season, as soon as I leave, she goes, I wanted to change. So our kids get all the furniture that we take out. So they all have brand new stuff.
So they don't mind helping.
They are like, we'll come over and help you move it. Yeah. So no, we're pretty happy now with what we have. I think.
I like what I have now.
Yeah.
This is only the third set since we've moved in. We've been here for 5 years. Third set. But that's all right. But other than that, besides changing around the furniture and stuff, I work in an automotive for a company called Borg Warner. We're a tier 1 automotive supplier.
Ooh, yeah.
I've been at this company for a little over 11 years.
Yeah.
I've been in automotive for maybe 15 years. Prior to that, I worked at PepsiCo.
Right.
For
in finance.
10,
yeah.
But what I do is I am the assistant to the president and 2 vice presidents. So, and we're a global company. We have locations, I think, in 38 different countries. And so when I travel, I'm usually traveling with that team. And, we go to different locations if they have a plant there, so we can visit plants, or when we're doing our global meetings, we'll try to find a place by a plant so some of the other plant managers can come in and see how they operate their business. And it's kind of good to see what other people are doing to maybe learn something new to make your plant more efficient or whatever. But so I support the president, 2 vice presidents, and everything that goes along with that, from their calendar to travel, expense reports. I spent all day doing expense reports, presentations, just negotiating hotel contracts on different meetings, transportation, entertainment, just what all that goes in with that.
Well, and she coordinates like these global meetings. So while I was in San Antonio, she was in Barcelona.
Yeah.
She was in Barcelona, and they had a leadership meeting there.
It's about 85 people. So
85
that I was
from all over the globe, and she gets them all there, does all their things. And that's why, I say, hey, can you get me a plane ticket to so-and-so? And she's like, think done. Can you do this? Well, don't, so
which is helpful because of our status with Delta now. So now we're Diamond Medallions, and so that helps. It's not a bad thing to have.
Yeah, we can.
But you guys fly mostly American.
Southwest.
Okay.
Southwest,
so but when he's flying back and forth by himself, we usually do Delta.
Yeah. So she coordinates all. But about Borg Warner, so people who may not know the automotive industry, here's an easy way to know who Borg Warner is. They are the sponsor of the Indianapolis 500. So when you see that big trophy, that's called the Borg Warner Trophy.
Mm-hmm.
That'll tell you how big they are in automotive and R&D and all that. And if you have a turbo in your car, pretty good chance they made it.
Yeah.
So it's we balance it that way. And it's funny because when I knew she was going to Barcelona, then I can time it when I'm doing my stuff in San Antonio, that we don't miss time together in the off season. And it works out good because she got in on Friday, I got in on Saturday, and we're lucky enough that our daughter and the grandson can come over and watch Coach and Molly, the other dogs, and take care of the place while we're gone. So yeah, we make it work.
Yeah,
we make it work. It's and I think that's when I tell the coaches in preseason, and then I tell the players the same thing, because players have significant others at home, be it parents, girlfriends, wives, family. There is a balancing act to being a professional football player and coach. But if you do it right and you get the right partner, that's the key. The one thing that irks me the most when I'm recruiting players is they're all about it, and we're talking and they're having a great time with it. And they say, well, let me just talk to my girlfriend, right? Or let me talk to my wife. And then they call me back the next day and they say, my wife said, if I leave, I'm getting divorced. And that always,
Right.
Or my girlfriend said, if I leave, she's dumping me. And I always tell guys, make sure you pick the right one because
Right.
I got the right one. You know, she wants me to be happy and she wants me to live my dream. And in the same respect, I want her to have her dream of having the home we have and having the kids around and having the life we have. So you got to be careful, you know, and when they threaten you, that's a good time to just go, yeah, I'm going the other way because it's never going to get better.
Well, and
You
it's
know.
also helpful. We have adult children, so
Mhm.
you know, they do help when we have that, and we don't have anybody at home except for the dogs now, so it makes it a little easier too. You know, now that we're older and we can actually travel,
Yeah.
you know, come and go like that without having the small kids at home.
And we
So I know
get
that's
it.
a lot
We
easier.
get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's you don't want to ever be a burden on your family doing your job, right? And you know that you were in the military for all those years too, right? So our thing is, you know, Susan's probably going to work another 10 years. No,
Oh no.
5.
Oh no. No.
Until it's
About 7
November
or
5.
Okay, she's going to work like 7 more years, right? Because she wants to. She loves her job, right? And well,
I do.
be
love
careful.
my
Someone's
job.
going to watch it. That's the thing
I
about
do
this.
love my job.
No, and you know, then you know, then if I'm still doing what I'm doing, God willing, you know, and we want to go for a season, we can both go.
Mhm.
You know, and that's the beautiful part about it, you know. So yeah, it's this is home base and mama takes care of it, and that's why it's a home.
It is, and I'm very
Yeah.
happy when he comes home. You know, and it says
Labor.
Yeah, that's right.
It was either me or a migrant.
No, it's
Yeah.
nice when he comes home because when we bought this house, it's a big house, and you know, I said I will deal with the stuff on the inside. You take care of all the outside. Well, then he's gone, so now I get the out. So I don't mind shopping.
And I don't say a word.
So it's a
Yeah.
nice compromise.
Yeah, we have a deal where probably during the season, I would say no less than once a month, she gets a little surprise in the mail.
Yeah, he does.
To make-
He's very kind.
And it's really just, it's a bribe. it's a thing.
And I'm okay with that. I'm okay
Yeah,
with it.
no, but we make it work and we have fun. And the kids, you know, that's the thing is that all of our kids are real big football fans and
Very supportive.
and real supportive of everything. And like they all watch the show and they all watch the games. And, you know, after a game, when I'm getting my butt chewed or something's going on, they'll send me a text, hey, I love you. It was a good game, or it was this, or it was that. And, you know, it's funny because, and I say this is not an insult, it's a compliment. But during, you know, like after the game, everyone's like, it's okay. And she'll go, why did you do that on third down? You know,
I know, and it's funny, and he doesn't like to hear a lot of that because I see things, and I'll say, "What was that all about?"
and I'll say, you don't know what you see, Stevie
know.
Wonder.
I don't,
So
but I
But
do.
she knows the best athlete on the field because you've told that story.
she did
many
that, yeah, because it's the
Custom.
truth. We had just been together not more than 3-4 years at that time, and I was watching film, and I called her in and I said, who's the best player on the team? She goes, that guy. I said, okay. And it's that obvious is my point to the athlete. You stand out, right? And when you're that good, you stand out. And even someone who's not, she's a fan, but not an aficionado at, you know, the analytics and schematics of a football team, but she knows, just like everybody else in the stands knows, right?
Mhm.
And that's why we buy those people's jerseys and everything else. So, but no, it's been a good ride for sure.
And two things. She knows how to run a C-suite because she's a C-suite manager, and she picked you.
Yeah.
Right. We're okay with that?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. No, I'm the luckiest guy in the world, and I say that every day. Yeah, I don't get it, but thank you. You know, it's one of those deals. No, it's all good.
No, it's good.
Anything else any advice actually, Susan, you'd like to give to fiancés, wives of football players that you've learned that they might benefit from.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I think we're in a different stage in our life where a lot of that is probably not a factor, but it is a good ride, and we have good owners, we have great players, and you meet some really wonderful people, families. A lot of the moms, come up and say, "Thank you so much. Your husband, hired my son," or whatever. And I'm like, I have no idea who you are, but I'm happy for you too. I'm just as happy for her. And we're very blessed with the people that we meet. We've met some really, really wonderful people, and
all over the country.
Yeah, that we made friends with. I mean, so that says a lot. And I think it's just just kind of take it slow and try to absorb it and try not to react so quickly, but enjoy it. Enjoy every moment you can, because who knows what's going to happen down the road. But while you're in it, just enjoy it. Meet those great people and build those relationships and share that with each other. That's probably the best advice I can. Just enjoy it while you can, because it may not be there next time.
And I think the fact that, like, the way they like Don and Pam welcomed, and Stephanie and James welcomed our family, and Susan in particular, she was there on day one when I signed my contract, and she was first boots on the ground with me, and they made sure that she felt like part of the family, and
from day one.
Mm-hmm. And that, I think, is the most grateful part for me, knowing that I was going to be away for so long, and she felt like I was with good people,
Right.
And that because she's been with me when I've been with some not so good people, right?
And it's a constant worry. So
and she'd call me up at night, "How are you?" And I try not to vent to her, and I go, "It's okay." And she goes, "I know you. It's not okay." And I'm like, "It's all right," But now, we don't have to have those conversations. And I think she's right. I think there is. I can see now where some more mature coaches last longer, because one is they don't fall in the same pitfalls as some younger coaches do, and two is they're respected enough around the league that they'll never be out of work. You know what I mean? And there's a comfort in that versus a comfort when you're a 25, 30-year-old coach just starting out. So because of your family primarily, right? I know most of us as coaches, we'd live in our cars if we had to at that age to just get jobs, right? When you're 25, 30 years old. I talked to a coach today, and this is a really good football coach, and the offer he got from another team, I'm not sure I wouldn't egg that owner's car. It was so insulting. Like it was so insulting. And this is a really good football coach, and he just called me up to vent. And I just said, to him that, my first job coaching was $5,000 for the whole year. And I had two small kids at the time and made it work, because when I got done with that, I went and worked the second job at night, and then would live on 2-3 hours sleep for a year. But then the next year, it just blossomed into a career. But they wanted to see if I was willing to put in what they had put in as senior coaches. And that taught me a lot and made me real respectful of our trade, where I think some young coaches feel entitled to be in positions like they just quit playing and all of a sudden they want to be a coordinator, or they just quit playing and they want to be a head coach. And it's different. It's different. You can ask any player anytime you want, what's harder, playing or coaching? They'll tell you to a man, it's harder coaching.
And from my perspective of watching the coaching aspect is, it's not just, hiring the staff. It's not just finding the players. It's not just, taking care of the paperwork. There's so much more behind the scenes. And it's from the time he wakes up in the morning till the time he goes to bed. And it's, there's always drama. I mean, there's always drama. There's, meals and travel, and there's just so much more to it than just playing a game.
That's the hardest thing is you got to have someone who lies next to you at night that's okay with the phone ringing at 11:30, 12 o'clock, because it's a player who needs to talk to you, or it's a sponsor, it's an owner, it's a whoever. I haven't had my owners call me that late, but in the past I have, or you get a player calling you, and remember at 25, a little problem is a big problem. And then they just need to be focused. And I'm glad they call me and I'm able to help them. And sometimes those conversations last till 2, 3 in the morning. And I'll come back to bed and she doesn't say anything. And all she'll say is, everything okay? And I'll say, yeah, and that's it. So it's all about your partnerships, right? Like I said, I don't know why you did, but thank you. I'm the luckiest guy in the world, and we have a yes, I am. Did you hear? Yeah, see, that's
If you ever forget, she'll tell you.
another row of scaffolding going up. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, no, it's all good, and but I wanted everyone to meet her, and I don't want to take up a lot of our time, but
Yeah, I think we're in the fourth quarter now, aren't we?
no, yeah, we're good. All right, so
All right.
we're good.
Yep, that'll do. We'll be back with the second quarter when we return. Thank you, Susan,
Thank
for
you.
being with us. You are watching Branded, brought to you by South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital.
Hi, Miss Susan and Coach Manas. Tom Gross from New York.
Reputation. It defines us. How we treat the customer contributes to our reputation. It's doing the right thing every time and never cutting corners. John Wayne's customers have rewarded us with over 15,000 five-star reviews and an A+ rating with the BBC. And for that,
Do you want something loud like chips?
John Wayne Service Company,
No,
our
I'm
reputation
just-
is in every truck.
next to my bed.
John Wayne Service Company is a proud
Sandwich and
sponsor of
chips.
the San Antonio Gunslingers.
And grapes.
That'd be awesome.
It's so easy to love pick and roll. Why? How about the largest inventory in South Texas? How about the ease of finding your part with our interchange and real-time inventory search at pickandpullsa.com? How about an organized yard in
No,
Memphis to
Jeff,
find your parts plus a shuttle? At Pick
Nick.
and Pull, we make it easy to save money on the quality used auto parts you need at a price you can afford.
More to pick, less pull from your budget. Now that's Pick and Pull.
For generations, the family recipes at Carrabba's Italian Grill have been bringing people together. From the sweet smell of our scratch-made sauce to our rich layers of lasagna, we believe food made with love leads to tables filled with laughter. Dine with us or order out at Carrabba's.com.
And welcome back to Branded, as we are joined on screen by Matt Barrett, our new signee at the linebacker position. Welcome to the show, Matt.
Thanks for having me on.
Hey,
Well, I
Matt.
guess-
I've never, hang on. I never met Matt. We talked on the phone, but I've never seen Matt.
Ah,
How are you, Matt?
I'm doing good. How about you, Coach?
I'm good, buddy. Glad to have you.
Good to be here.
You excited about this?
Absolutely. I can't wait.
Yeah. Well, I watched this film and it took me about 5 whole minutes to figure out this kid reminds me of Hutchison from the Lions. He's a side to side. He's a front back. He's got a motor that's crazy. He's long. He plays long. And when he gets there, he's not real kind, which is what I love, So that's when you call a linebacker, that's what you want. So I fell in love with them, and I was lucky enough to make something happen with them. So we're excited to have him in camp.
let's say that's especially in the mobility is especially important in the indoor game. Introduce yourself, Matt, to our audience. Tell us, I guess, about where you came from. All I know is that you did play football in high school in Wisconsin. Am I correct?
Actually, I was born in Wisconsin, but I grew up mainly in Battle Creek, Michigan. So I played at Battle Creek Lakeview, and that's where I'm living currently. So I work in Kalamazoo, sawing metal in the off season. But yeah, I went to high school, Battle Creek Lakeview. Then I went to college actually in Wisconsin. I played at St. Norbert. It's about 10, 15 miles outside of
here. And we are all frozen up.
Well, you're frozen up. We're good. You're okay.
Right.
So you were in St. Norbert, right?
Yep.
So at Oakland University, we had a professor liaison who was a football player at Norbert. And that's why it hit me when I saw your film and stuff. And Battle Creek, you're only like 2 hours from me. You know that, right? We got to get together. We got to get together this off season and have a meal. We'll have you over to the house.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'd love that.
We got to definitely do that for sure. Ralph, are you still frozen? Yep, Ralph's still frozen. See, Ralph is the technical guy that is the worst at technical stuff. But I love him. But we do this every week. Anyway, so I'm going to ask you some questions, all right? So you're living in Battle Creek. You living with family, mom and dad and stuff?
Yep, live with mom and dad and my wife, Sarah.
Your wife. Okay, your wife, Sarah. Okay, perfect. And you said you cut metal, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're in fabrication?
Yeah, I work in like a factory. We take kind of like recycled metal and we turn it into different parts for all different types of companies.
Oh, okay. No, one of my sons is kind of similar in that respect, and the other one's a master welder. So they went in the trades. My two middle ones went in the trades. So that's excellent. It keeps you fit, hauling around all that pipe and steel all day, huh?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's I was moving slow today. I had a long day at work and training yesterday, and today I was moving a little slower at
No. And that's what a lot of, everybody on, that's what people need to understand as well, is that I'll treat you like an NFL football player. I will, but we just can't pay you like an NFL football player. It's the guidelines of the league. But with that you guys all have jobs, just like we did when I played in the NFL. We had jobs in the off season. We weren't making millions of dollars, and that's the thing, is that you got to balance everything, right? So where you work, they're okay with you coming to camp and leaving and all that? They're going to hold your job, or is it see you later?
Yeah, I'm kind of like a seasonal employee technically. I think that's the designation they got me under, but I kind of got a good deal with them. I come there and work hard and they kind of take me right back. So it's a really good deal. I get to have a job in the off season that I know will kind of be there. And then I get to go play football. So it's kind of a good gig I got set up, because I think this is like my fourth stint there. So, went to Germany, came back, worked there, went to Mexico, worked there, went to Finland, worked there, and then now I'm working there again. So yeah, I think it's like my fourth stint.
Now, so we talked about your work, we talked about college a bit, right? I know you had a lot of accolades in college as well, right? You want to brag on yourself a little bit on what you did in college? Go ahead.
I try not to too much. I didn't do anything that crazy. I was 3-time all conference in college.
Oh, that's all. Yeah. Well, that's great. So aside from football and your wife, Lisa, right?
Sarah.
God, where'd it come up with Lisa? Sarah, I'm sorry. I promise you I'll buy you a t-shirt when I see you. aside from Sarah and mom and dad in Battle Creek, what do you do when you're not working out, working? What's your hobbies? What do you like to do? What's your passions?
Well, to tell you the truth, my passion is football. So like, I just direct so much of my energy towards that. You know,
good answer, by the way. Yeah.
you know, like, I get home from work, I start training, I do, you know, all that takes a long time, and, you know, prepare my meals, a hot tub, and, you know, get in the cold tub, do the plunge. And by that time, you know, I just spend a few hours with my wife. Usually we'll, you know, turn on a movie, and she's a personal trainer. So, you know, she's always giving me tips on, you know, what I should eat. And so we got a good thing going with that, you know. But yeah, I'm really passionate about football, every aspect of trying to get better. So, you know, the nutrition that goes into it, the training.
Right.
So, I enjoy like playing a video game once in a while, you know, normal stuff like that. I like to do that stuff too. Board games, you know, I like to rope my brothers into board games. So got 3 brothers. So
anytime. Oh, you do? Okay. So yeah, let's talk about that. You got 3 brothers, older, younger, what?
I got one older brother. He actually lives over in Detroit. I got 2 younger brothers. Youngest brother, he plays at Trine right now. And then my second youngest brother, he played with me actually at St. Norbert. So he lives over in La Crosse in Wisconsin right now.
Okay. Okay, great. Ralph, are you back?
I am. I don't know what happened there, but I lost internet entirely. I'm glad you were able to keep driving the ship.
Yeah, Matt, what you don't get is this. Okay. Every week we have a glitch of some sort, right? So when I got on pre-show, we had this bad echo. And I kept telling Ralph, it's got to be on your end, because I went on my phone, I went on this, I went on that. And he always finds a way to figure it out, usually with like 37 seconds left to go before the show starts. Right. And thank God for him, because we would just do the whole show on my phone, you know, but he does that better than anybody, and I appreciate him. But okay, so Matt, I always do this because it's an important thing. I know you got friends and family tonight watching, your wife, your mom, dad, your brothers are probably watching, teammates are watching. You want to give any shout outs to anybody and do your thing? I'll let you go.
You know, I guess just my wife. You know, I wouldn't be playing football still without her. You know, she really lifts me up, and, you know, she's always believed in me, you know, and without her support, I definitely wouldn't be where I'm at today. So
I just heard Miss Susan in the back yell, "Right on, yes." No, well, that's kind of the theme we had going today. So that I totally understand, and that's great. So, are family going to make a trip down to San Antonio for a game?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't doubt it. It's a lot closer than, you know, the places I've been playing. So I'm sure they'll be down.
Good.
Do we want to talk about any of those, or did I miss it? We already talked about your
Yeah,
time.
we're done. You were
okay.
Yeah. Just check and see if we have any questions or anything. Another great signing. That's nice to hear. Yeah, great. So, I mean, people are, you know, they're going to get to know you more and more. And that's why I tell these young players to just come on board with us. Make sure you're following our social media, just like the fans, because, you know, that's where you're going to get a lot of information until we start Zoom calls and team function stuff. So glad you're aboard, Matt. Looking forward to seeing you in a few months. Just keep doing what you're doing. And as always, if you need anything, you call me, okay?
Thanks, Coach.
You bet.
And this has been our time with Matt Barrett, a new signee to the San Antonio Gunslingers. And we'll be right back with the second half in just a moment. Jen Bonomo checking in saying, see you in San Antonio, Matt. And we'll see you on the other side. Branded, brought to you by South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital. We'll be right back.
We all need hot water. Some of us need more than others. So it's a good thing that State has a wide range of tough commercial-grade water heaters for your home. From standard models to high-efficiency and tankless models, we've got you covered, no matter where you live, what you do, or who started it. To install a State water heater in your home,
Call John Wayne today or visit us at johnwayne.com.
Hey San Antonio, are you tired of the same old chain pizza that tastes like cardboard? I thought we were done eating paper in school. Maybe not. It's up to you. At Matanga's, we bring you flavors that are authentically Texan. We're talking about fresh dough that we made in store every single day. We're talking about cheese that's shredded in store for that authentic cheese flavor. We're talking about brisket because this is Texas, y'all. We're talking about our Texas rolls. Can't get those anywhere else. We're talking about Texas ranch because when you put jalapenos and ranch together and you dip it in with pizza, just drink it. Lastly, we got a pothole pizza because we had to name a pizza after our roads. You know what I'm talking about. Can't wait to see you soon. Find a Matanga's near you.
Welcome to South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital and Outpatient Center. Step into our operating rooms, where highly skilled surgeons work hand in hand with specialized technicians. Our dedicated team has extensive experience and expertise in spine and surgical procedures. Our commitment to patient safety is unwavering. We understand that your well-being is at the heart of everything we do. South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital and Outpatient Center, where expertise, longevity, and state-of-the-art technology come together for your health.
And welcome back to Branded. Ralph Judkins along with Tom Manas as we get set to launch the second half. A few goings on around the league. It was actually a lot of non-things that went on around the league since our last show, Coach. We had announcements about teams within the IFL that would not be returning or would not be joining this year. Without naming names, how difficult is it to bring a team back, or what are the issues that will emerge when you try to bring a team back from being in inactive status? Or
Well, I think, Ralph, that it's not as hard as you think it would be, because you have your infrastructure in place for the most part, right? You may have some HR situations, but equipment, those kinds of things, office stuff, field stuff, practice stuff, game stuff, you should have a pretty good handle on. I think the reason, like I said, and I said this openly, Frisco and Duke City left for personal reasons, not financial, not for structural, not for integrity reasons. They left. They went dormant. Dormant meaning that they plan on coming back in 2026. They could have easily said, we're not coming back, we're done. But they kept their status open and with the league. So really happy for them and looking forward to seeing them back in 2026. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot easier than starting from zero, coming out of dormancy. So,
and you at least have a brand that's already established and a place to play. It's not a startup in a sense. What problems emerge with those? You had mentioned they go dormant for reasons, and if one of those reasons,
those are personal reasons, right? So I'm not even going to get into their personal reasons because, frankly, it's none of my business, and I don't know, right? I just hope they get them resolved. I hope it's nothing catastrophic. I hope it's not an illness. I hope it's not of this. I hope it's not of that. But all I can do is pray for them. I can't do more than that, and let them know that if they ever need anything from me, just pick up the phone and ask. I told that to one of my favorite people that works. And I told her today, I said, I'm only 3 hours away. If you need me, you just call me and I'll be there. Right. that was for a personal reason, and I mean it. The world's gotten a lot smaller, so we can help each other a lot easier, right? But as far as the Jermaines and Gina and Duke City go, I just wish them well, and I hope they get through whatever they're getting through, and I look forward to seeing them again down the road.
And as far as did we even want to talk about the outside of our league goings on with teams and basically chasing down financial backing or losing a partner?
No, it doesn't. Our ownership is so strong that I mean no disrespect to Frisco or Duke City, doesn't affect us.
Not terribly important, but somebody who
it's important that hang on, be careful with your words there, right? It's important because it does affect schedule. It does affect your fan base. Okay. But it doesn't do anything to the league financially that puts the league in any less of a position it's in right now.
As they prepare to come back for another year. And I'm not sure if it's hit the status of the longest running indoor football league.
Second to the NFL.
Second to the NFL as far as longevity. So the longest running football sport league and organization.
These are consecutive years. These aren't breaks for bankruptcy.
Right.
These are consecutive years, and no disrespect to anybody else. We didn't have their problems, so who knows, right?
Right.
I always say they're by the grace of God, so we don't, I'm not saying anything to anybody, it's like with Sammy signing in Albany, that's a completely different league, and I couldn't be happier for him, because we had talked about this, towards the end of the season and at the end of the season. He knows I care about him and his family and his mom, his dad, his siblings, his wife, his children, his two boys. And so that doesn't matter to me. This is gone. That lasts a long time. So
wanted to change the subject now and bring on our third guest of the evening. It's been waiting patiently in the green room. Welcome to Branded, Guy Myers.
Look at that face. I know that guy.
I like this. I like this look better. Right? We get to see Guy a little clearer, a little brighter. Welcome to Branded, Guy Myers.
Thank you for having me.
So Guy was supposed to be on before. And then we had a technical difficulty, Ralph, no, I'm just kidding. But we had a technical difficulty and the poor guy couldn't go on. So then I've been trying to get Guy on for the last month, and I'll call him up and say, Guy, can you I can't, coach. I got this. I'm working. And then I called him up and he says, well, I'm flying to California. Maybe I can make it. And then he couldn't make it. And then I called him like twice last week and no answer. And I'm thinking, this guy's ghosting me. What's going on? He's on a cruise, right? He apparently didn't buy the internet package. Okay. So then as soon as he gets to dry dock, he calls me and he says, yeah, I can come on. So I'm glad we got you, Guy. I really am.
Sure. It's definitely a blessing.
Yeah. So are you going to do this, Ralph, or do you want me to go?
Well, I was going to do just the preliminary things that everyone knows who can spend 5 minutes on the internet about Guy Myers. Guy has played for two teams or been signed by two teams in the USFL. You came in with the Generals and then over to the Showboats. And then last year with the sole surviving in the NAL, Carolina Cobras was the quarterback last year.
Yes,
did I miss anything? Was there any more out of this?
Well, I've been with the Cobras twice. So I signed with them initially in 22, and I sat behind Malik Henry that year. And then I came back the following year to be the starting quarterback.
Yeah. So he's had 2 years of indoor experience.
Yes.
Right. So, okay. So let's start from the beginning. Okay. So last year, DJ comes on. We all know and love DJ. You know, he is a man of character, man of faith, just good football player, great football player, just good team guy, good captain. You can go on and on and on. So Tina comes in town.
Oh, Lord.
And Tina's in my ear. And Tina's like, you know what'd be really great? If you signed my son, my other son, and you got him in. I said, Tina, I love you. I appreciate you. Let's see how it pans out. Right. And of course, then as I started knowing what was going to go on with Sam at the end of the year, I tried to make a conscious effort not to pull the trigger too fast. And Guy and I had started conversations. And let me be really clear. The first thing out of Tina's mouth, DJ's mouth, Guy's mouth was not looking for any favoritism, not looking for anything, just want to come in and be given the opportunity to compete and just be a part of this. And, you know, it's kind of like if you love DJ, you're going to absolutely love Guy because they're cut from the same cloth. You know, Miss Tina's done a great job raising these boys. And on top of that, they're both exceptional football players. Now, DJ would be considered in any arena, in any form of football, an average size wide receiver, right? He plays above his height. He plays above his weight. He's tenacious, all those things. This guy, for people who don't know, is 6'6" and weighs 220 pounds. Okay. So this guy can see over everybody, and which is good because we got a big old line. And you know, that was obviously that. And then you watch his film from last year. He tore up the NAL and did an exceptional job. So that's how we got to this point. Now, that being said, Guy, I want to give you the opportunity, introduce yourself, your journey in football, and what got you to tonight.
Well, it's definitely been a journey. It's been a blessing as well. You know, of course, just like DJ, just like a lot of us, I've been playing football my whole life. Started when we were 6, 7 years old. That bridged us all the way through high school. You know, coming out of high school, I was undersized and under recruited. Surprisingly, with being as big as I am now, I was small in high school. I hit my growth spurt really late, so I ended up doing 3 years in the junior college system. So went JUCO first, spent a year in Mississippi, then spent 2 years in Oklahoma. So I had a lot of incredible experiences. Got to travel a lot, see different places, experience different types of coaches and environments. What I think really helped shape me as a football player and a man, really. After junior college, I ended up going to University of Charleston in West Virginia, small D2, in the mountains of West Virginia. Fell in love with not only West Virginia, but met my girlfriend there. I've now been with her for 5 years. And she's been with me for soon. Yeah, soon. That's the plan, soon.
Good. What's her name?
Her name's Cameron.
Cameron. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So after college, you know, the USFL came calling after stuff fell through with the NFL. But it was honestly a really good opportunity with the NFL. I was doing priority free agency stuff. I was chatting with a couple of people. My agent was doing a really incredible job at the time, trying to get me an opportunity. You know, being a JUCO kid coming out of D2, we had a lot of precedents to fight against. But, you know, everything happens for a reason. So after all of that, I had the opportunity to go play or practice and play in the USFL, where I spent those 2 years there. With the whole merger situation that happened with the XFL and the USFL, you know, everybody usually knows the 8 teams that got dropped. Unfortunately, I was with the Tampa Bay Bandits prior to them becoming the Showboats. So I was on that roster that unfortunately had gotten released from the league, and it was just a tough battle trying to get back in. So I did a lot of camps, a lot of combines, UFL tryouts, ANCs, grids, all over the country, looking and fighting for that chance. DJ really helped me come to the realization that, you know, just playing is the most important part. Keep playing, the opportunities will come. So that's when the arena football situation happened. Actually, Coach Fuller gave me the chance to come to Carolina the first time. after I was released from the USFL, and I got an opportunity to not only go learn under him, but under Malik Henry, who, of course, is an exceptional quarterback in his own right and has done a lot of really great things. So that then bridged me to meeting Coach Negron, who took over as the head coach the following year. He brought me back as a starting quarterback, and now I'm here to use that platform to, of course, get another opportunity to come compete for a job and be a part of the great stuff you guys got going on in San Antonio.
Yeah, that it's funny. A couple things hit me while you were talking, and it goes back to one of my lines is "Diamond in the Rough," where it kind of became famous here in San Antonio when I signed a kid from the tryouts, and I said, "We're looking for a diamond in the rough." And when you talk about your journey, I don't think people really know what that means. Is a diamond, when by the time you see it, like the one your girl's going to get, comes out of a side of a mountain or down in a hole in a rock.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't matter where it came from, it's how it finishes.
Absolutely.
Right. So that's where that came from. And the other side is I talked to a very good player who has a lot of options today. And I said to him, do you understand the importance of signing with us? And he said, why? And I go, do you know how many coaches in the UFL and even NFL scouts go through our roster to see who we picked? Because once you're on there, you're in a database, and you're now all of a sudden you become important, where before you were a kid trying to make a team. And I can tell you this flat out. I had 3 calls like that last year from GMs in the UFL that had called me up and said, hey, what about this kid? What about this kid? What about this kid? And they weren't even on their radar. They were just seeing all the talent we were pulling in. Right. Absolutely. And so I think it's a great move on your part. Continue playing. Don't be on the couch. Right.
Absolutely.
Plus, we have a shelf life. Right. I mean, there's going to come a day where you can't do this game we love so much.
Yeah, that's true.
So you might as well take advantage every day you get.
Absolutely.
Right. So why don't you let everyone know, like from a quarterback standpoint, why don't you give us 3 expectations and 3 goals for this year?
Okay. Expectations is to just take another step forward. I feel like finally at 26 years old, I'm kind of coming into myself as a quarterback, of course, as a man and as a brother, as a boyfriend, of all these things. But my first expectation of myself is then to just take that next step forward. You know what I'm saying? Every single year I've gotten better. Every single year I've learned something new that I've been able to add to my repertoire. So I think my first expectation on myself is just to keep taking those steps. Every once in a while you fall backwards, but as long as you just take that next step, I think you're going the right direction. My second expectation is to have just so much fun. We are blessed to play this game, no matter what level, no matter where. Just having the opportunity to continue to do this is my biggest blessing. So my second expectation is definitely to have a lot of fun. My third one is to absolutely enjoy playing with my brother. We have been doing this together vicariously, just in parallels together our whole life. We've never been able to do it together. So this will be the first chance. Rather, no matter what happens out of camp, we'll be able to do this together for the first time in our life. And I think it's going to be something extremely, extremely special. My first goal straight out the gate, I want to win. I'm a competitor. It doesn't matter. I want to win. So winning every single week, one game at a time, one day at a time, one practice at a time. I do set long-term goals for myself, but I'm a very one thing at a time or a matter of fact type of person. So just every single day I want to win. That's going to be my first goal. Second goal is to make new connections. You never know. It's funny. Everything comes full circle. Meeting Coach Fuller through DJ, when DJ played for him before, and now I'm playing for him a second time. Just that connection has brought me this far. And who knows, Coach, maybe you or anybody else I meet in San Antonio might be that next thing that was set in my path to continue to propel me to where I need to be. So definitely, making new connections is a huge goal of mine. And 3, just to stay safe. for me, my teammates, everybody that we play, nobody likes to see injuries or this being taken from something out of or from away from people for that being out of their control. So definitely going to stay safe. That's my third goal.
You know what? That's an interesting point for a quarterback to say, because staying safe, a quarterback has so much. There's so much relying on a good quarterback for your season, winning and losing. And sometimes it's selfish when quarterbacks don't slide or don't give up and hit the wall, and they go for that extra, even though there's 3 guys on them, they keep fighting, and all of a sudden the fumble comes out. How many times have we seen that, right? Or they're fighting against the wall, and then someone says, well, 15 yards versus not having a quarterback, I'll just go hit him in the side of the head.
Yeah.
Right.
And honestly, by the grace of God, I was able to stay safe last year and get out with no injuries. But, maybe that's a big step for me in this point in my career, because to this point, I'm not going to lie to you, Coach, I've been that quarterback, who fought for every inch.
Yeah,
but
you all are. You all are. But again, I'll say this clearly, and I'll say it on top of a mountain. There's only 2 people that can cost you a football game. And one's the center and one's your quarterback, because they touch the ball every snap.
Absolutely.
Those 2 guys can influence the outcome of a football game, just 2 people out of 25-man roster. So a good friend of mine, Dave Mogensen, had put together a really good team a couple of years ago. And I think the first game, half a quarter in, he lost his quarterback, and then it was a slide from there, So it's about you can't control it, but you can also be smart about it.
Absolutely.
Right? How do you get smart about it? You spend hundreds of hours watching film, knowing how to read defenses so you can prepare yourself. It's not like in the NFL where you have, I can look here, I can look here, I can look here, I can do my third and fourth view. No, it's you got a second and a half, 2 seconds to get the ball out. So you better know what's happening pre-snap, right?
Yep.
So it's all those things combined with everything else that makes great quarterbacks and healthy quarterbacks and all that. So I'm with you on those goals for sure. And the last thing is, this will be easy for you. I'd love to have an opportunity to say hi to everybody back home and all around the country that follows you, and give your props. Go ahead.
Give my props. Well, you already know the first one goes to God and my mom. That's all. That's the first one. Of course, to my brother DJ. I know he's on here. I saw him shouting out Myers Strong. That's our family's motto. That's what we go by, Myers Strong. It's true, tried and true to our heart. Other shout outs are going to be my trainers. My quarterback coach, Barry Thompson, has been everything to me in my journey. I met him when I was 18. He completely changed my life as a quarterback. And even to this day, he still is that mentor, quarterback coach, and really keeps my head on straight when I'm in season and out of season. My strength and conditioning coordinator, Josh, he's also one of those huge mentors for me. So I've had a lot of really, really incredible people be put in my path that has kept me on this path. My girlfriend, of course, is here with me. So a shout out to her every single second of the day. So, but I just wish I could give glory to every single person who's gotten me here. But, the big ones are, of course, going to be my Lord and Savior and my family. Definitely.
Perfect. Well, you can get around the camera if you want.
Let's see.
Go ahead.
Maybe. Coach Manas wants you to say hi. Come on, come say hi.
But I don't look good. I'm not dressed.
Yes, this is a big
She
moment.
looks crazy. He just called you out. This is my better half.
Hey, how are you? Hey, I think I helped you though. I think I helped you also because he committed to the.
He said I had to put a ring on it when I told him we were together for 5 years.
On camera, by the way, so it's good.
Yeah, we're locked in now.
No,
could we do it on Branded? Could we do it on the show?
You want to get proposed to on Branded?
Yeah, well, we'll look forward to having you in town along with everybody else, and just get yourself.
Who gave you the shirt?
Yeah.
Who got this shirt?
Yeah.
My mom actually got this for me last year when DJ signed.
Yeah.
Ah.
So I've had Every game I watched every single one of your guys' games last year. Every game I was in Carolina last year, I put my San Antonio shirt on, put the game on, and go crazy for my brother and Sam and Nooney and all my guys, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a coincidence. I watched all of yours too.
I appreciate that.
Good deal. Well, listen, you,
happy that they're the same colors or similar colors as the Cobras, because now I don't have to buy a whole new wardrobe.
Oh, there you go.
Normally I just wear the colors. I don't always like show the brand.
that sounds like Miss Susan. Yeah. Yeah. If you go into a coach's closet, you would die. How many clothes are in there? Yeah. And they're all different colors, So yeah, I got you. Well, hey, great having you guys on. God bless you, and get ready. It's going to start here shortly.
Ready to go.
All right. Good having you guys. Take care.
See you.
This has been Guy Myers and Cameron, newly signed as a quarterback on the roster for the San Antonio Gunslingers. We'll be back with the fourth quarter of Branded, brought to you by South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital. We'll be back with the fourth in just a moment.
Quality. Here at John Wayne, it's not just a word, it's our foundation. From the people we employ, to the service that's provided, to the equipment that we design and install, quality matters. For nearly 20 years, providing quality Texas comfort to the San Antonio area communities has been our highest priority. For quality you can count on, call John Wayne today.
John Wayne Service Company is a proud sponsor of the San Antonio Gunslingers.
Hey, what can I say? Comes with the job. 1 minute I'm making a one-hand catch on the sideline. Next minute it's lights out and I'm on the sideline. And that's why I like Complete Care, because they're fast, just like me. They have ultrasound, CAT scan, X-ray, and even on-site lab. So if you get sidelined, know where to go. Complete Care, official sponsor of the San Antonio Gunslingers.
And welcome back to Branded for the fourth quarter. I noticed something, Coach. You're wearing a new shirt. It has a Adidas or Adidas logo.
No, this is last year. I wore this last year for a few games.
Oh, okay. So you were prescient in knowing that the league and the team was going to be wearing Adidas.
I'm a little different because I like getting my own stuff, and when I can see a really nice Adidas or Nike or whatever, I would grab them, and then Jordan would decorate them for me, and that's how we kind of did it. This year, everything's going to be Adidas, so I guess we're just going to find out. I'm hopeful that in the next couple of weeks we'll get that catalog and we can start picking out how we're going to look on the sidelines too. The field uniforms look great. Jordan did a great job again with the decorations on those. So, yep, that went really well and super easy.
And the next big thing coming up is the tryout coming up on the 23rd
Hey,
of
Ralph,
November.
I was going to call you today and tell you, and since Jen's on, she's going to hear this too. And anybody involved with the organization, So I was looking at our schedule, and we have one more show here. Well, we have two more. We have one the 30th and one the 6th that'll be shot remote. And then I'll be in town and we'll do a live show in San Antonio on the 13th. And then we were going to do a show on the 20th, but I'm going to go with no show on the 20th. And we're going to take our show and make it on the 23rd live from the facility for the tryout. And we're going to do it like the combine. So obviously I won't be sitting there. You'll have guests hosts throughout the day. I'm sure Don, James, Jen will be on talking about sponsorships. I'm sure we'll have Jordan on. I'm sure we'll have April on. I'm sure we'll have a bunch of people on throughout the day. And we're going to start that at 8:30 in the morning. And we're going to run that the entire tryout and up until 12:30. So we're going to go 8:30 to 12:30, just like the combine does. And we'll be live from Gunslinger Nation. And again, then at the end of it, God willing, I'll come on with a couple signees that we're going to offer contracts to. So we're looking at about right now, I think we have 50 registered, and with about 4 weeks to go, 5 weeks to go. So I'm sure that number is going to get pushed up pretty high, and not counting the walk-ups. So I'm guessing we're going to be somewhere around 70 athletes that day. This is also being brought to you. The combine is also being brought to you by Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital. Thank you again, Angie. You do so much for us. We're so grateful for that. In addition to that, we're going to have vendors out there. There's going to be giveaways. So fans, I'm encouraging you to come. As we get closer, we'll let you know on, seating and what, if, I'm hopeful, let's get a food truck or something out there so people can get something to eat and, just spend the whole morning there on that Saturday. So circle it in your calendars. You'll all be home by the time college football kicks off, or pretty close to it. You might miss the first quarter of your game, but I think this is well worth it in your love and support for the Gunslingers. And we're looking forward to hosting that.
And Jen reminding us that food will be provided by Outback Steakhouse, the Days of Allah location here in San Antonio.
Right.
They are the food sponsor for the event.
Well, and for the players.
For the players.
Right.
And
not for the fans.
they don't have a food truck.
Right. No, I'll have something else set up out there for them, but no, that's for all the people that participate in the event. There's going to be a lunch available to them. It's a chance for coaches to interview and sit down and talk to players post tryout, answer any questions they have. A lot of kids sometimes it says we have food for the fans.
Yep.
Oh my God, Jen, really?
Breaking news even to us on the show. We didn't know, but Jen's there, and she says
Outback is supplying food for fans and players. Wow. Okay. Hey, what can I say?
Jen on the show. That was awesome.
One is that's why she's the best in all of football at doing her job. But also, thank you so much. These are the kind of sponsors we have here. Who does that? And so, Angie at Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital, the people at Outback. I know Complete Care is going to be there. I'm sure they're going to be there. I'm sure somebody else is going to be there, some other vendors. Jen, who else is going to be there, Dewey? Not just Outback and many more. Okay, so we're going to have a lot of food sponsors there that day. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And the whole premise of it is we're trying to make somebody's dream continue on, right? Football is a game of opportunity. it's just like anything else is when I bring these things to the table and I say, hey, I want to do a tryout this day. They kind of all look at me like, what? And I go, don't worry, it's going to be big. And then sure enough, it becomes big. And that's a great part of this is that you're helping me build this thing here. And my goal has always been build it for longevity, build it for success, build it for championships. And that all starts on November 23rd, on that field. So, and if you haven't been out there, you got to come out there to see the place anyway.
Certainly.
And hopefully we'll have the new naming deal done too and up for that.
That'll be there. And that way, Dustin Jackson, maybe if we get the naming deal done, Dustin said, I wish he had a San Antonio Gunslinger jersey for his birthday. I don't know when his birthday is, but I
thought you just had a birthday. Didn't you just have a birthday? Oh, and by the way, happy birthday to Jen. Jen's birthday was yesterday, I think. So belated happy birthday to Jen.
And she's telling us that there is a plan.
11/30/77. Okay, so you wish you had a jersey for November. I'll make a deal, Dustin. If you show up at the trot, I'll get you a jersey. No.
There you go.
He lives in Arizona. I'm not going to do that to the guy. We'll figure something out, Dustin. I'm sure we can get you a fan jersey.
Dustin's such a nut. He might show up for this. He just might.
No. Save your money, Dustin. Come in when there's a game. Yeah, he's coming a long way. I wouldn't ask a guy to come from Arizona to just watch. Now, if you're a player trying to get a job, that's another thing. But I've seen Dustin, and he ain't a player looking for a job.
Well, Jonathan Bain said, how do I get an autograph and a photo with DJ Myers? That he is a huge fan.
Well, Jonathan, as a matter of fact, it's funny you should come on because you were the first call on my call list for tomorrow. I got to talk to you anyway. So give me a call when you're up and about tomorrow morning. All right. And I look forward to talking to you. Who else we got? You guys rock, great show. Oh, that Tina, you're just saying that because your kid's on. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. She had a comment back here.
He does make our show better looking though, doesn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very.
I can only imagine what Jen might be able to do in a sponsor. Hey, folks, if you know somebody who'd like to have a professional football player as your spokesman here in San Antonio, we've got a roster, and you just saw one of the faces.
Well, it's not only the players, it's the team itself. And I've been saying this from forever. You can be a sponsor of a professional football team in this marketplace for minimal advertising dollars, minimal investment. Now, you can go minimal or you can go big, like our friends at South Texas. Okay. You can do anything in between. By doing that, you're supporting the football franchise. Okay. Yes, it's our desire to fill every arena, pack it in, have sold out crowds, and do all that, of course. But your teams are driven and they're run on day to day by your sponsors. They really are, and it's critical to your longevity. It's critical to your fandom. It's critical to your recruiting. It's critical to the type of people you can have in the organization. So we appreciate y'all very, very much, and couldn't ask for a better group that we have. And I know Jen mentioned the whole team. Of course, I do that every week. April, Jordan, Weston, Morgan, James, Don, Robert, Bobby, Cisco, who's the absolute, is it Psycho? Sicko? Sicko, right. It's S-I-K.
But I like Sicko.
It's S-I-C-O is how you spell his name though, right? Yeah, I just call Bobby because I love him and he knows that. but the whole point is, everybody, Preston, who's our CFO, and all the people, behind the scenes, the Pams and the Stephanies and the volunteers that we have. And of course, Jen, and her group. And then you got Megan and her trainers, and Justina, our equipment manager, and, all the people that make this work. Coach Fuller, Coach Johnson, this is a machine that without one of them wouldn't be. Yeah, I got it. Thanks, Jordan. I'm sorry about that, Robert. I just call him Bobby, so I don't know. Matter of fact, I'm going to be in town on the 12th, and we're going to shoot some commercials and do some ticket stuff. And we talked today. He called me up. He texted me, and we're going to put some stuff, pretty cool stuff together. So, but all those things, everything that we can do and everything that we have an opportunity to do, are driven by you guys. Don says it all the time. He says, we're in the football business, don't get us wrong, but we're in the entertainment business first and foremost. So if we don't provide you good family entertainment at affordable prices, we won't be here. But you have to participate for that to work.
And speaking of participation, slight change of topic. Before we close out the show, wanted to talk about, I can't give the advice because I don't know, but you certainly can, Coach, to players showing up at the tryout. What exactly do they need to do as a player to prepare themselves for this experience? And this experience, as you promised before, this is a professional NFL level experience. Well, that you're getting a lot for your money and your time. But what do you need to bring?
I'd say prepare for everything. Because I could give you a specific, work on your 40. I've signed guys that don't have great 40s, but yeah, you want to be well-rounded. You want to work your shuttle drill, work your L drill, work your broad jump, work your 40, work your upper body strength. There's a good chance I might put a 225-pound bar out there on the bench, just like the NFL, and see how many times you can do it. Right? We have it available to us. So there's different things. Just be prepared for everything. Like if you're going to come into an opportunity like this, why wouldn't you prepare for everything? Now let's talk about from the time you pull up in your car and you park into the time that you get on into the actual tryout. Don't show up 5 minutes before. Don't do that. That's just dumb. I'm going to have the gate open at 8. We're going to start at 9. By the time you register, it'll take 10 minutes. You're going to have 45 minutes to get yourself ready. So what I always tell guys is find your spot, put your headphones on, get your stretch on, get loose, put on your turf shoes, AstroTurf shoes, not field turf, which is like grass. This is an AstroTurf field like carpet. Okay. So you want to make sure that you put on the proper footwear. You'll have one of our player jerseys that will identify you as one of our players. We're going to be filming it as well. So if we miss something and we don't sign you that day, that doesn't mean we wouldn't come back to you after we dissect the film in further detail. I'm going to have a speed coach there and his staff working. You'll do a team stretch, but that's going to be a static stretch. It's not going to be a full stretch. It's just going to be, some high knees, karaoke, some strides, some lunges, that kind of thing. All the pre-stretching you should have already done when you get there. You don't have to worry about bringing water bottles and jugs and all that. We're going to have trainers on the field with water for everybody. Okay. You'll have plenty of hydration. Once that gets completed, we're not going to let you guys use the locker room. So you're going to be using the facility outside. So you're not going to get a chance to shower or do all that. So if you want to bring yourself a towel, bring a towel, wipe down, maybe a change of shirt if you want to for lunch. And then once lunch starts, lunch will last an hour. And then when that's over, we'll see you later. And if we offer you a contract, we'll probably sign you on the show. And if we don't sign you, that doesn't mean that you're not good enough to play pro football. It just means that you didn't have what we needed for our football team. Okay. So pretty simple stuff, and November 23rd in San Antonio could be 75, could be 105. So be prepared either way,
Well, hopefully by then it'll be on the cooler side, but
yeah,
no guarantees.
I always tell guys just, that's why I say be prepared for anything. You know what I mean? And be smart enough to understand that your preparation leading up to is if your strength and cardio training, what I would advise is if the tryout's on Saturday, after your Wednesday workout, you're going to scale back a little bit, right? Because you want fresh legs. You don't want dead legs. If you've been, I wouldn't do legs on Tuesday and do my tryout on Saturday. I'd be smart enough to know if I'm going to do legs, I'll do them on Sunday. And then I got 6 days to recover, or, just how you prepare yourself for the event itself. But I think that's pretty much it.
And as you told Guy, yep, be ready.
I make no promises to anybody we've signed a contract to. That includes Guy. Guy knows Guy's got to come in and compete against 2 other really good quarterbacks. And that's okay. Competition breeds, excellence. It will. And, like anything else, not to get melodramatic, but the cream does always rise to the top. And this is not one of these situations where, camp's different than a tryout. Camp is it's part learning as well. So you're going to have days where you didn't learn as quickly as you should have. But tryouts are how you are in that 2-hour period of time determines whether or not you get that opportunity.
All right. Anything else before we wrap up this episode of Branded?
Other than you froze?
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess I need to work a hard line into the budget because that was a failure of my Wi-Fi.
That's okay. So let's just do this. Let's just wrap up by saying to everybody, and actually what we'll do is we'll do the closeout now, right? So we can get out of here and then go. But I just want to tell everybody, thank you again for all your support. Branded still remains the #1 indoor football show in the country. We appreciate you. We're only here because of you. We're going to continue to bring on players over the next couple weeks, so you get an opportunity to meet them. We'll have a couple special guests along the way to keep it exciting. But make plans for November 23rd. Circle your calendars as a fan to be out there for that event. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. We're going to open the gate to the fans, I think, around 8:30. And we'll officially start around 9. And players will be welcome to come in around 8 o'clock so they can get registered. So anyway, that's it. You already saw Miss Susan. I'm going to go give her another kiss before we go to bed. And I just want to say, Eli, Liliana, and Mila, I love you. It's time to go to bed.
And this will wrap up our episode 2 of season 2 Homefront. Make sure you have liked and subscribed before you go. And this has been Branded for October 23, 2024. And as always, keep your guns up. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Thank you.